What's up, Dirt Junkies? A great way to make a perfect hike miserable is by not taking in enough calories. So today I will share with you 5 of my favorite trail foods. I'm almost positive you've never heard of the third one, as well as some tips for making sure you take in enough calories during and after your hike. Let's get into it. Before I jump into 5 of my favorite trail foods, I think it's important to note that you probably have no idea just how many calories you're burning on your hike. There's a lot of really cool calculators out there on the internet where you can put in your pack weight, your weight, other things to estimate the number of calories burned. It's just an estimate at the end of the day, but when I used these calculators, I was shocked at how many calories I burned during a hike. You feel like you're just taking a walk in the woods, but you're actually burning a lot of calories. For example, when I used this calculator, I put in my weight as well as my estimated pack weight. You can see that I'm burning almost 500 calories per hour. I had no idea. Again, I realize it's just an estimate, but my Garmin tells me roughly the same number. That's a lot of calories, way more than I typically take on a hike, especially an all-day hike where I'm out for 10 hours or more. I can pretty safely say that before using these calculators, I never took 5,000 calories with me on a 10-hour hike, but I definitely should have, because I remember dragging by the end of those hikes. Whew. This hike is steep. I really wish I had just taken a few more calories and been able to enjoy the end of the hike as much as the beginning. So let me share with you 5 of my favorite trail foods, as well as some tips for making sure you take in enough calories during your hike, as promised. Before I jump into the foods, I should just note that I am not a nutritionist, I am not a doctor. These are just 5 things that work really well for me on the trail. They give me energy, they taste good, and I really like them. I would also really love to hear what some of your favorite trail foods are. Please share those with me in the comments. I'm always looking for new snacks, new treats to mix it up a little bit on my hikes. First up is some electrolytes. My preferred electrolyte powder is called Tailwind. This is a carryover from when I used to think that I could ride road bikes. I much prefer being in the dirt and on the trail more than riding a bike on the asphalt. But what I do love about those days is that I discovered Tailwind. They have a bunch of different flavors. You can actually buy it in small packs as well if you prefer to, but I like to buy the large pack and then put it into small snack size baggies. It's a lot cheaper and I'm cheap. We all know this by now. This is the Raspberry Buzz flavor, which I think is delicious and also has a little bit of a kick of caffeine. I've tried the Tropical Buzz. I feel like that tastes like dish soap. If you love it, I'm sorry, I really don't like it. So find an electrolyte powder that works well for you. Electrolytes are definitely something you need, especially on hot days. I really like Tailwind. The second one I'll share, and I like this because it balances out all of the sugar that's in the Tailwind, are nut butter packets from RX. My favorite is this blue one, the vanilla almond, but they have a ton of different flavors. These are nice because they provide some fats and some proteins when so much of the trail food that we take is filled with sugar, like the Tailwind I just showed you. They also have a lot of calories, which is nice because we just talked about how many calories we burn while we're hiking, and they are delicious. Well, that was delicious. Now, this third one that I said you've probably never heard of is called Rec Pack. I found these guys on Instagram. They are a veteran-owned company that decided that they wanted to make some food for the trail that was very convenient and provided a nice balanced nutrition made up of real food. After I found them on Instagram, I was really excited about it because I've been looking for something like this for a while. It's just a powder mix that's in this packet. You put a little bit of water in the top, shake it up, and then drink it. And this packet alone has 700 calories. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't come out for a couple of months. They sent me this one for free, even though I completely offered to pay for it because I was so excited about it, and it is delicious. Super good. On a recent hike up Mount Timpanogos, these are the only calories that I took with me because I really wanted to see how my body would react to this. First of all, it was really easy to mix up. My body handled it great, and it was delicious, and it's just super convenient. They just announced that their Kickstarter is starting on September 28th. I don't know what the details are yet, but I am definitely going to be contributing because I am really excited about this nutrition. If you guys watching have seen anything else like this, I would love to try it, but I'm super excited about this one coming out. Find Rec Pack on Instagram. I'll include a link below and check them out. All right, next up is Honey Stinger Stroopwafels. There's a couple other companies that make something similar, but I really like these ones. This is another holdout from my cycling days. That's how I discovered these, but they are delicious. There's a lot of different flavors. My favorite is salted caramel, but the cinnamon's really good. I really haven't had any flavor that I didn't like. What I really like about these is that they're sweet and they're easy to get down. I've been on longer trail runs, longer hikes where it's really hot and my stomach just doesn't feel like eating anything, but I know that I need some calories. For me, I have always felt like these honey stinger waffles are super easy to get down and they always taste delicious. Sometimes when you don't feel like eating, nothing tastes good. These always taste good to me. So I really like these. Delicious. And last but not least is Blue Diamond flavored almonds. I love the salt and vinegar flavor. I also really like the smokehouse flavor. They have a few other flavors that I think are delicious. What I really like about these is they make me thirsty. So when I stop and have a handful of these, it also really makes me want to drink water, which is good because I often don't get enough water in on my hikes either. And a nice balance to all of that sugar that you might be taking in through your electrolyte powder, the honey stinger waffles that I eat, anything like that. These are a nice balance. They also come in really small packets if you feel like buying just single serving size packets. I like to buy the big one and then split them up into snack size baggies, just like with my Tailwind. It's a lot cheaper and then I can take exactly how much I want. Almonds, good stuff. Now to the tips. When it comes to longer hikes where you're going to be out there for 4 or 5 hours or even all day, pushing 10 or 12 hours, I really think it's a good idea to have a plan for what your nutrition is going to be that day. Look at how long you're going to be out on the trail, estimate how many calories you're going to burn, and then make sure you take that many with you. The next thing you need to do is have a plan for how often you're going to consume those. On longer hikes, I always have a plan for what I'm going to eat at the hour mark every hour. Time for some calories. If it's going to be particularly strenuous, I may eat at the half-hour mark as well, because 500 calories is a lot to try and down while you're on the trail at one time. But have a plan for the calories you're going to consume, whether that's every 30 minutes, every hour, or even 2 hours. Have some kind of a plan for when you're going to consume your calories and what those are. Time. Another nut butter. For me personally, I usually like to make sure that I always have some Tailwind mixed up and that I'm drinking a bottle of that every hour or 2 hours, depending on how many calories in it. And then each hour I'll have a nut butter packet, a honey stinger waffle, some other type of calories. Your plan does not have to be the same as mine. In fact, it probably shouldn't be, but just have a plan that works for you. And the last tip I'll give you is leave a cooler in the car with some delicious beverages to enjoy when you make it back to the car after your hike. Even if you're going for 1 or 2 nights backpacking, the cooler will keep those drinks nice and cold and they will feel amazing when you get back to the car after a long day of hiking. For me, I really like to leave a coconut body armor as well as my guilty pleasure Diet Mountain Dew in the cooler. But sometimes I'll even mix it up with a naked beverage or an Odwalla, something like that, to give me some vitamins, minerals, and other calories when I get back to my truck, because no matter how many calories I take, I still feel pretty tired. And as a bonus tip, I definitely recommend a ridiculous post-hike meal. This is a picture of me and my friend Justin enjoying massive pizzas. Yes, we ordered 1 each after a big weekend of backpacking. That pizza was amazing. I didn't quite finish it, but man, I came close. The post-hike meal is definitely a go-to for me. Those are my 5 favorite trail foods, as well as some tips for making sure you can get enough calories on trail. Please, as I've said a couple times already, leave me your favorite trail foods in the comments below, as well as any other tips you might have to make sure you get enough calories while you're on the trail. Remember, life is better with some dirt in it. What am I saying? Did I do something weird? Doom, doom, ba doom, doom, doom. You can stop it. I don't know if I'm gonna use that or not. And then put it into snack size baggies. We're gonna have to trim all of that. Love the smalt. You're talking. Split them up into snack size baggies. That's so hard to say.